Good evening, friends. Today is Saturday, 12th of December 2020. So, this is now time for the weekly wrap and just to see where things are positioning. So, let's start from the S&P 500. Yesterday, I had said in a video that S&P 500 is breaking 60 on the RSI. That RSI has returned above 60, so sort of saved the blushes for S&P 500. On the weekly chart, you can say it's been a inside week for S&P 500, and I don't think that conclusively means that it is going to come off. What it means is that this has been a consolidation week, and once S&P 500 gets above this week's high, which is about 3712, we could have some upside extension. Now, similarly for the Nifty, it's had one more solid week of gains, and so far on a weekly basis, this remains a very strong market. On the daily, at best, you have you had a couple of sideways type of days with highs at about 13,550 to about 13,580, and once we get above this zone, we should have further follow through on the upside. There appears to be very little sign of weakness. People think it will become weak. They want it to become weak. But I think you are having a sideways time only to resolve on the upside. Let's see what sort of plan that we want the market to have in order for us to participate. Right now, what the market is doing is ranging. Okay. Now, what we want is the market to stop ranging, find support at a daily pivot, and continue on its journey up. So this zone is around this area, which is about 13, 480, 500. So basically, Monday's trading day, if we are able to consolidate here and then move up, that would be the place you want to do something. While we are sideways, my suggestion would be to not try to go short here because this remains a very strong market. In case we for some reason drop here, I think this will be the second buying opportunity. But personally, what I would look for is this to happen so that the market can give me an R2 type of target. So we look in terms of the pivot. The Nifty daily pivot is at 13,444 on the Nifty cash. So if we are able to hold this zone and then uh, this is the weekly pivot, 13,498 is the intraday pivot. So if we are able to hold this sort of zone and then move up, then you could look at an R2 of 13,675. So what you want to do is, if you start to hold this sort of zone, you can maybe buy 13,600 weekly calls. That should give you decent money. Now, important point to note, the weekly pivot is 13,498. Daily pivot is 13,498. Weekly is 13,444. So this 13,450 to 13,500 zone now becomes a very, very, very strong zone for the Nifty. So the idea is that if sideways starts to resolve on the upside, only then you have any sort of play which could happen. The sideways has already gone on for 2 days, maybe if it has to another day or so, but market is very, very strong. So I don't think the market will stand at a certain point in time for a very long time, and chances are it will go up. Meanwhile, for those of you who are interested in joining our services and daily commentary, etc., you can use the join buttons on YouTube, which are silver, gold, and diamond. And you can also opt for the recorded webinar, which is for 2000 plus GST. For questions, please call up 98710 or email at ashwani_gujral@yahoo.com. This is ASHWANI_GUJRAL@yahoo.com. Now, having said this, let's move to the Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty again, is in a sideways format. And again, what you want is the Bank Nifty to consolidate here and then resume its upside trend. Okay. This sort of range, even on the Bank Nifty, cannot continue for very long. So this is the sort of plan you need to have. Till this happens, there shouldn't be any call to action. Okay. So this is very, very critical that you are participating in the direction of the trend rather than, doing things in anticipation. Okay. Bank Nifty, if we see the weekly chart, it remains in a very strong uptrend, and you can see this sort of green full-bodied candle. Okay, so this was couple of sideways week and again upside breakout. So 31,000 is resisting the Bank Nifty, but we'll have to see for how long. The amount of throwback we've had from 3800 thereabouts has not been very significant. So chances are that sooner or later we should get past this zone, and possibly once we are above this trend line, I would think you will start to see strong upside. So things look decent even on Bank Nifty, and I would think that 31,000 is, you know, a point where people think it should stop and it should retrace from there. But the action at 3,800 does not seem to indicate that 31,000 will be a major resistance. In this sort of market with 4,000 crores daily, nothing seems to be a major resistance. So on Bank Nifty, maybe again doing the weekly options may be a good idea. So the next strike can be done on the Bank Nifty. Since we are in a trending market, mostly on individual stocks like Reliance, etc., if you get to Friday's lows, this is Reliance Industries, Friday's low is about 1975. That should give you a buy opportunity based on price action. Now, price action means that there has to be rejection at this level. Similarly, TCS is another one where Friday's low is about 2765, and if you get here and see price rejection, it is possible that you do upside. Now the other trades you could have is something like Hindustan Unilever, where what I would like to see is some amount of sideways to happen, and this 200 gets very close, and then we get a fresh expansion. Similarly, on Kotak, both Lever and Kotak are very strong stocks. So even on Kotak, what you want to see is some amount of consolidation, and then the breakout happens. See, there are two ways you can enter uptrends in stock. From a sideways action, they start to move up, or they have a vertical plunge, and then on a retest, you could get it. So both sorts of plays I have indicated, and basically, if you get in, put a stop underneath the pattern and trade it on the upside. See, what this market is doing is that it is often giving you either plunges into support and then recovery, or it goes sideways and then gives you recovery. Both these are buy opportunities. Why? Because they give you a sensible stop here, and then from there you can buy in. See, the market does not know we are overextended, and that will remain a problem because the market will fall when it wants to fall. It will not fall because anybody thinks it is overvalued. It can stay overvalued for a long period of time. So this is the message I would like to leave you with, that A, have patience for market to set up properly. Do not chase. B, do not impose your view on the market. That remains the defining truth of the market. And so far, you've hardly gone sideways and then you have broken out. So, what is important is that if you buy after this kind of rally, you are vulnerable to a correction. So, wait for a consolidation to happen and then take the upside route. Okay. So, wherever you see these vertical declines, be ready to buy if there is some previous price action which is providing support. So make your list of 10 stocks and then choose where you could have action. My advice is, for the moment, avoid the short side and look for uptrends to resume even in stocks which are correcting in a temporary fashion. So basically, unless something really rockets up early morning in the day and then starts to tire out there for an intraday trade, do not try to go short. Even this would be my last preference. I would be more interested in stocks which are showing great amount of strength on daily charts and then coming down for consolidation and then moving up. This is that one odd case which gaps up and is unable to maintain, and you get some small 1% type of decline. Okay, so that should be it. Have a good weekend, and maybe Monday morning we'll again have an update based on fresh SJX Open. Take care and good night.